Imagine this: a world where rising seas swallow entire cities, where forests that once teemed with life are reduced to ash, and where millions of people are forced to flee from unrelenting floods and droughts. Now ask yourself, what if we only had one last chance to stop it? This isn't some distant nightmare. It's the reality we're inching toward every single day. Scientists warn that we are approaching critical tipping points in the climate system. Points where change becomes, not just unstoppable, but irreversible. And the scariest part? We may have less than a decade to act. The last 8 years have been the warmest on record, with 2023 being one of the hottest yet. Climate disasters, hurricanes, wildfires, floods, are now costing over $165 billion annually. But the real cost is in lives disrupted and ecosystems destroyed. Scientists have identified several tipping points in the Earth's climate system. These include the melting of polar ice caps, the collapse of the Amazon rainforest, and the thawing of permafrost. Each of these triggers a domino effect, making the planet warmer, less stable, and harder to recover. Once we pass these points, there's no turning back. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, warns that if we don't have global emissions by 2030, we'll miss the chance to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. This is the threshold beyond which the worst impacts, extreme heat, food shortages, and mass displacement, become inevitable. These numbers aren't just statistics. They're a call to action. But here's the twist. What if we could reverse climate change in just 10 years? What if this timeline wasn't a death sentence, but an opportunity? Is it even plausible to imagine a world where innovation, cooperation, and sheer determination can pull us back from the brink? In this video, we'll explore how humanity might achieve the seemingly impossible. A 10-year reversal plan that could transform our future. But first, we need to understand the scale of the challenge ahead. What do you think? Can humanity rise to meet this moment? Or will time run out? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're ready to dive into this urgent journey, don't forget to like and subscribe. What if we could rewrite the future of our planet in just 10 years? To reverse climate change on such a rapid timeline, we'd need more than minor tweaks or half measures. It would require a global transformation, an all-hands-on-deck effort to reshape how we live, work, and power the world. So, what exactly would that look like? First, we'd need to unleash the full power of technology. Imagine scaling up renewable energy sources, solar, wind, and hydro, on a scale never seen before. Currently, renewable energy accounts for just over 30% of global electricity production. To reverse climate change, we'd need to push that to nearly 100% by the end of the decade. This means covering vast deserts with solar farms, lining coastlines, with wind turbines, and upgrading grids to store and distribute clean energy efficiently. But here's a question. Could we survive in a world powered entirely by clean energy? The answer may depend on how quickly we adopt technologies like advanced battery storage and smart grids to keep the lights on, even when the sun isn't shining. Or the wind isn't blowing. Then there's the game-changing potential of carbon capture technology. Machines that can pull CO2 directly from the atmosphere sound like science fiction, but they're already being tested. However, to make a meaningful impact, we'd need thousands of these facilities worldwide, each capable of capturing millions of tons of CO2 annually. Alongside this, industries like transportation, agriculture, and manufacturing would need to undergo radical change. Electric vehicles would replace gas-powered cars, precision farming would reduce emissions from agriculture, and factories would need to shift to zero-carbon production processes. These transformations wouldn't be easy or cheap, but they're essential for achieving a climate reversal. Nature, too, would play a critical role. Reforestation and ecosystem restoration could be one of our most powerful tools in this fight. A single acre of mature forest can absorb about 2.6 tons of CO2 every year. Now, imagine restoring millions of acres of forests, wetlands, and grasslands. How much land would we need to recover to make a dent? Estimates suggest we'd need to reforest an area roughly the size of the United States to offset global emissions significantly. It's a massive undertaking, but it comes with the added benefits of preserving biodiversity and protecting vulnerable species. This blueprint for reversing climate change is bold, ambitious, and packed with challenges. But it's also filled with possibilities. The technologies exist, the solutions are clear, and the benefits could be transformative. The question is, do we have the collective will to make it happen? What do you think? Is it possible to overhaul industries, embrace clean energy, and restore nature all within a single decade? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into how we can shape a better future. Reversing climate change in just 10 years sounds ambitious, but let's ask the big question: can we afford it? The answer might surprise you. Not only can we afford it, but it could spark an economic revolution, unlike anything we've seen before. Let's start with the costs. Estimates suggest that a global transition to clean energy and sustainable practices would require trillions of dollars in investment. But here's the thing: the cost of inaction is far greater. Climate-related disasters already cost over $165 billion annually, and that number is only rising. By investing in solutions now, we're not just buying a healthier planet, we're avoiding catastrophic losses down the road. The real question is, who will pay for it? Governments, businesses, and individuals all have a role to play. Policies like carbon pricing, green bonds, and international cooperation could help distribute the financial burden while incentivizing rapid change. Now, let's talk about jobs. Transitioning to a green economy would undoubtedly disrupt traditional industries, particularly fossil fuels. But what if we told you it could create millions of new jobs? Jobs that are cleaner, safer, and built for the future. The renewable energy sector already employs 12 million people worldwide, and experts predict that number could double or even triple with the right investments. Picture massive solar farms being built, wind turbines rising along coastlines, and cities redesigned with energy-efficient infrastructure. These projects require engineers, technicians, designers, and construction workers, a tidal wave of opportunity for skilled and unskilled labor alike. Innovation would also drive entirely new industries. Imagine a world where companies specialize in building vertical farms, developing zero-emission shipping, or designing advanced carbon capture systems. These technologies don't just fight climate change, they represent trillion-dollar markets waiting to be tapped. Countries that invest in green innovation today could become the economic powerhouses of tomorrow. But here's the most exciting part. What if we could save the planet and create millions of jobs at the same time? It's not just a dream, it's a real possibility. Transitioning to a sustainable economy would mean healthier cities, stronger communities, and a more resilient world. And the benefits aren't just economic. Clean air, access to green spaces, and a stable climate would improve the quality of life for billions of people. So, can we afford it? The better question might be, can we afford not to? What do you think? Could the fight against climate change unlock a new era of economic growth and opportunity? Let us know in the comments below. And if you believe in a future where innovation saves the planet, don't forget to like and subscribe. Reversing climate change in 10 years is a monumental task, but let's face it, our greatest challenge might not be technological or economic. It's human. Could billions of people, divided by borders, beliefs, and priorities, unite around a single, urgent goal? Or are we our own biggest obstacle? The first hurdle is global cooperation. Climate change doesn't respect borders, yet nations often put their own interests first. Developing countries argue that industrialized nations, which built their wealth by burning fossil fuels, should bear the brunt of the responsibility. Meanwhile, wealthier nations fear the economic costs of aggressive climate action. How do we balance these competing interests? History offers a glimmer of hope. Take the Montreal Protocol, for example. In 1987, the world came together to phase out ozone-depleting substances. Today, the ozone layer is healing, a testament to what global unity can achieve. But can we replicate that success on a much larger scale? Grassroots movements and citizen action might hold the key. From climate marches that draw millions to youth activists demanding bold policies, ordinary people are showing that change starts from the ground up. These movements have already influenced major decisions, from citywide bans on single-use plastics to commitments by corporations to reach net zero emissions. Imagine if this momentum spread to every corner of the globe. Could people power be the force that turns the tide? Still, the road ahead is littered with obstacles. Misinformation and climate denial remain powerful adversaries. Despite overwhelming scientific evidence, there are still voices that sow doubt, whether for political gain or financial profit. Social media amplifies these messages, dividing communities and slowing progress. To overcome this, we'll need more than facts. We'll need compelling stories that inspire people to act, and leaders brave enough to confront inconvenient truths. The truth is, we've done it before. From ending apartheid to securing women's voting rights, humanity has overcome monumental challenges through sheer determination and collective will. The fight against climate change is no different. It's a test of whether we can look beyond our differences and work together for a shared future. What do you think? Are we capable of uniting the world in this massive effort, or will division and denial hold us back? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you're inspired by stories of human resilience, don't forget to like and subscribe. The next section will explore the rewards of success, what a world healed from climate change could actually look like. Now, close your eyes and imagine this. Crystal clear skies stretching endlessly above bustling cities, vibrant forests teeming with life, and clean rivers flowing through landscapes that had once been barren. Imagine a world where energy is abundant, affordable, and entirely clean, and where humanity thrives in harmony with nature. Could this be our future if we reversed climate change in just 10 years? The most immediate change would be in our air and water. During the global COVID-19 lockdowns, when industries paused and cars stayed parked, air quality improvements were so dramatic that they saved an estimated 11,000 lives in Europe alone. What if this wasn't just a fleeting glimpse, but a permanent reality? Imagine cities free of smog, where the air is as fresh as a mountain breeze and the rivers run clear enough to drink. Ecosystems would begin to heal too. Reforested areas would bring back biodiversity, from the flutter of bees pollinating crops to the majestic return of species once thought lost forever. Coral reefs, given a reprieve from warming oceans, might regrow their vibrant colors, while grasslands and wetlands would act as carbon sponges, locking away greenhouse gases and stabilizing the climate. This restored balance wouldn't just benefit the environment, it would secure food supplies, protect communities from natural disasters, and improve global health. In this transformed world, technology and lifestyles would look radically different. Renewable energy systems, solar panels, wind farms, and even futuristic tidal energy plants would power everything from homes to factories. Cities would be redesigned to prioritize sustainability, with green roofs, electric transport systems, and urban farms feeding local populations. In this future, waste wouldn't be buried in landfills, but recycled endlessly through circular economies. Cutting-edge innovations like carbon-neutral building materials and AI-driven energy systems would ensure that progress doesn't come at the planet's expense. And this is just the beginning. Reversing climate change wouldn't just save our planet. It could unite us like never before. The shared victory of overcoming this challenge could inspire humanity to tackle other global issues with the same determination and creativity. Could this new age of innovation and unity become the defining chapter of our species? So, is this the future you envision? Crystal skies, flourishing ecosystems, and cities powered entirely by clean energy? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if this vision inspires you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can work toward a future where the planet we leave behind is one of hope, not despair. Reversing climate change wouldn't just save the planet, it could change everything else. Imagine a world where cleaner air, restored ecosystems, and sustainable industries create ripples of positive change that touch nearly every aspect of our lives. If we solve the climate crisis, what else could we achieve? One of the most profound impacts would be on poverty and inequality. In a climate-reversed world, access to resources like clean water, fertile land, and reliable energy would improve dramatically. Farmers in drought-stricken regions could grow crops again, feeding their families and communities. Clean energy could bring electricity to remote areas, powering schools, hospitals, and businesses. With fewer natural disasters destroying homes and livelihoods, millions of people would have a chance to build stable, prosperous lives. Addressing climate change isn't just an environmental goal, it's a humanitarian one. Health would improve on a global scale, too. Air pollution, which is currently linked to 7 million deaths annually, would plummet. Cleaner air means fewer respiratory illnesses, reduced heart disease, and healthier children growing up without the burden of pollution-related diseases. Water quality would improve as well, cutting down on illnesses caused by contaminated sources. It's not just about survival. It's about giving people the chance to truly thrive. Reversing climate change could even reshape geopolitics. Today, competition over dwindling resources like water, arable land, and fossil fuels fuels conflict and tension between nations. But in a world powered by renewable energy and enriched by restored ecosystems, these pressures would ease. Countries might collaborate on large-scale green projects, from shared solar grids to joint reforestation initiatives. Instead of fighting over scarcity, we could work together to create abundance. And perhaps the greatest domino effect of all, reversing climate change could transform our mindset as a species. It would prove that we're capable of overcoming monumental challenges, inspiring us to tackle other global crises with the same determination and unity. Could this shared victory lead to breakthroughs in areas like poverty eradication, education, or even space exploration? What do you think? Could solving the climate crisis unlock a better future for everyone? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if this vision excites you, be sure to like, subscribe, and join us for more conversations about how we can shape a brighter, more sustainable world. Reversing climate change in just 10 years is an ambitious goal. But what if the solutions themselves come with risks? Could the cure be worse than the disease? It's a tough question, but one we have to confront. Big, rapid changes could bring unintended consequences, ones we can't afford to ignore. Take geoengineering, for example. Some scientists propose injecting aerosols into the stratosphere to reflect sunlight and cool the planet. On paper, it sounds like a clever fix. But here's the catch. Early experiments suggest this approach could alter rainfall patterns globally, potentially triggering droughts in some regions while causing floods in others. Imagine solving one crisis only to create another. How do we weigh that risk? Another concern is the potential for economic destabilization. Transitioning away from fossil fuels could mean job losses for millions of workers in oil, gas, and coal industries. While green jobs might offset these losses, the transition needs to be managed carefully to avoid economic upheaval, particularly in regions that depend heavily on these industries. Rushing the process without proper planning could leave communities stranded, deepening inequality instead of reducing it. Then there's the risk to ecosystems. Rapid reforestation efforts might seem like a win for the environment, but planting the wrong types of trees or monocultures could disrupt local habitats. Similarly, large-scale deployment of renewable energy infrastructure like wind and solar farms could impact wildlife if not implemented thoughtfully. Balancing speed with sustainability is critical. Vulnerable populations could also face unintended consequences. Policies aimed at curbing emissions, like carbon taxes, could disproportionately burden low-income families if safeguards aren't in place. Meanwhile, massive shifts in land use for renewable energy or reforestation might displace indigenous communities. Without equity at the forefront, these solutions could exacerbate existing injustices. The bottom line? Bold action is essential, but it must be guided by caution and compassion. We need to ask hard questions, anticipate unintended effects, and ensure that our solutions are as inclusive and sustainable as possible. What do you think? Are these risks worth taking? Or should we tread more carefully? Could rushing to reverse climate change create more problems than it solves? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're eager to explore these complex issues further, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the final section of this journey. After exploring the challenges, risks, and possibilities of reversing climate change, it all comes down to this: what can we do today? The fight for our planet's future isn't just about governments, corporations, or scientists. It's about all of us. The question is, what role will you play in shaping the next decade? Let's start with individual actions. Reducing your carbon footprint might seem small in the grand scheme, but multiplied by billions, these changes add up. Choosing plant-based meals, reducing energy consumption, and supporting sustainable products are simple yet powerful ways to make an impact. And here's a challenge. Could you reduce your personal energy use by 10% this year? Small commitments like these can ripple out, inspiring friends, family, and communities to follow suit. But individual action alone won't be enough. We need systemic change, and that starts with demanding bold policies from governments and corporations. Push for clean energy investments, advocate for stricter emissions standards, and hold companies accountable for their environmental impact. The power of collective action is undeniable. Just look at the communities that have transitioned to 100% renewable energy. These victories started with people like you, refusing to accept the status quo and demanding a better future. And don't underestimate the importance of spreading awareness. Share stories of success, like cities transforming their grids or businesses committing to net zero goals. Talk to your neighbors, write to your representatives, and use your voice on social media. The more people who join the conversation, the harder it becomes for decision-makers to ignore. So, what can we do today? We can start small, but think big. We can demand change while driving it ourselves. And most importantly, we can believe in the possibility of a better world. Because the truth is, the next 10 years will define the future of our planet. The question is, will we seize this moment or let it slip away? What will your role be in this story? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're ready to be part of the solution. Together, we can take the first steps toward transforming our planet, one action at a time. After all the science, the solutions, and the possibilities we've explored, one question remains. Will we do it? The question isn't if we can reverse climate change. We have the technology, the knowledge, and even a roadmap to make it happen. The real question is, do we have the political will, the social unity, and the courage to act before it's too late? History offers us lessons of hope and determination. Humanity has faced seemingly insurmountable challenges before. We've eradicated diseases, landed on the moon, and rebuilt after world wars. Each of these achievements began with doubt and division, but ended in triumph because people refused to give up. The fight against climate change could be our greatest challenge yet, and our greatest triumph. But what will it take to succeed? It will take leaders brave enough to make tough decisions, even when it's unpopular. It will take communities working together, putting aside differences to fight for a shared future. It will take you, me, and everyone watching to step up, speak out, and take action. And what happens if we fail? Future generations will look back and ask, why didn't they do more? Why didn't they act when they had the chance? But if we succeed, if we rise to meet this moment, they'll inherit a world where crystal skies, flourishing ecosystems, and thriving communities are the norm. They'll remember us as the generation that turned the tide, proving that humanity can achieve the impossible when we come together. So, will we do it? That's the final question, and the answer depends on all of us. The time to act is now, not tomorrow, not next year. Now. What will you do to make sure we don't waste this chance? If you believe in the possibility of a brighter future, share this video, start conversations, and join the movement. Together, we can write the greatest success story in human history. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's make the next decade the most transformative one our planet has ever seen.